In this video, I'll be showing you 42 tips and tricks in 99 Nights in the Forest that I learned from a pro player with over 30,000 days. Some of these are small tricks, others are interesting facts. Let's jump in. When you use log storages to AFK, make sure to place them on top of your farms and directly next to your auto cooker. That way, when you come back to your game, you can easily collect the food from the farms and restock your auto cooker. At the same time, you can collect soups from the auto clicker to restock your inventory for the next time you AFK without having to deal with the cultists around you. If you do not have a good weapon when you are exploring the volcano biome, you can lure the cultists into the lava. When they jump out, just lure them back into the pool of lava. Once they die, then you can gather their body and sacrifice them in the volcano. When you are doing a long run, do not have a lumberjack in your team because you don't need to worry too much about wood. Instead, have 2 or even 3 chef classes. Have one be in charge of wood and the other be in charge of food. That way you can get as many soups as possible in the fastest amount of time. When you join a game and get the snow biome, don't leave the game. Instead, tell everyone on your team to reset and press play again with same team and you'll be put in a new game together. When you are trying to do a long run and are saving up soups for AFKing, do not put pumpkins into the auto cooker because pumpkins give you the same amount of hunger as soups. Instead, you should eat the pumpkins when you are hungry so you don't waste your soups. If your teammate dies as they are trying to explore and get gear, take their stuff back for them when you come to heal them. That way, when they are healed, they can continue adventuring without worrying about their stack space running out. If you are bored during a long run, you can play hide and seek. Just take away the map so no one cheats, then think of a zone you want your teammate to hide in. Next, start the accelerometer machine so you don't die at night. Lastly, when your teammate says they're ready, start looking for them. If you don't find them by the time it is nighttime, you lose. If you want to explore the volcano biome, use the witch class. On the tall lookout towers, you can kill the crossbow cultists from the top of the ladder without them detecting that you are there. You can also do this with the cyborg class, but the witch class will heal you at the same time. If you are trying to speedrun till day 99, make sure to have someone with the level 3 blacksmith class. That way they can get discounts on random items in the workbench and be able to craft items early without leveling up the workbench. This allows you to need less wooden logs to upgrade your bench. Overall, this makes the speedrun much more productive and faster. A good strategy to use in the cave is to lure the cultists all the way to a blessing post. That way, you can run in circles around the blessing statue and kill the cultists with minimal damage taken from your health. If there is no blessing post near you, you can find an open space and run in circles there to kill the cultist. When you pick a blessing in the cave, but you are alone while your teammates are on the mainland, make sure to communicate with them and ask which blessing they want. Also, tell them which blessing you picked because they don't get a notification on their screen when a blessing is chosen. When you are doing a long run, only one person needs to AFK eat while the other AFK when they're dead. This way you won't need to have as much food. This will allow you to be able to survive more days unless that person disconnects, then you are screwed. Let the person with the better device's Wi-Fi AFK eat so that won't happen to you. If you are trying to get the durability badge, make sure to equip the witch class because you have infinite heals with the potions. That way, if you are about to die, you can heal yourself without wasting a bandage. Never craft the freezer because it is completely useless. You will never need to eat regular morsel long enough to make the freezer useful. Instead, save up for the auto cooker and use shelves to store them. Or if you have too many soups, you can make a container by building 4 log walls into a cube or building 4 log storage units. When you are doing a long run and get bored easily, craft the hammer and collect the basketball hoop and the ball from one of the basketball courts. Now you can place the hoop at your fire and play a game of pig with your friends. If you want to make this even more fun, you can make your own basketball court. All you need to do is collect 2 hoops and place them opposite from each other. Now, instead of playing pig, you can play a competitive game of basketball. If you or your friend ends up dying, always sacrifice them into the fire before you revive. That way you can get a free point for the volcano and end up getting more items for your camp. If you are getting chased by a ton of animals and are trying to shoot them, make sure to always look in the direction you are going when your weapon is reloading. That way you do not get a secret ambush by another wild animal and die because that is really embarrassing for you when you are playing with a teammate. When you are trying to defeat a cultist base in the main biome, shoot them from a tree branch. Cultists are dumb and won't see you on the branch. When finished, don't forget to collect all the gear around the area. When you are trying to speedrun all 4 kids really fast, make sure to get a rifle before attacking any of the bears. That way, while your main weapon reloads, you can use the rifle to deal damage quicker in between reloads. When you are using the crossbow, make sure to aim slightly higher than normal because the gravity affects the arrow a lot and pushes it down more. The farther away you are from your target, the higher you need to aim. When your friend does die to wild animals, make sure to keep a safe distance and kill the animals near them before you go to pick your teammate up. Also, make sure to keep an eye out for traps. You don't want to also end up dying and lose your current game. When you are trying to get the survive 99 days without meat badge, try to get the crockpot and a few farms as soon as possible. That way you can easily put crops into the cooker to get soups quickly. If you are doing a long run, make sure to always collect pelts that are dropped from wolves or bunny feet. That way if you run out of bandages, you can easily go craft some more in the anvil. If you get something in a chest that you already have, make sure to ask your teammates if they need it before running away. That way you and your bond with your teammates can grow into a deeper relationship. If you are doing a long run that would require you to AFK, you should ask your teammates if they have an auto clicker. If they don't, then they will not be able to AFK overnight without getting disconnected. When you are bored, you should buy a bunch of furniture from the furniture trader and decorate your base. Make sure to make it feel at home and maybe add rooms for each of your teammates. You can also make rooms for your pets so they can feel welcomed and safe. If you are trying to get the infernal helmet, you should find the huge pit in the volcano biome. When you do, kill all the scorpions and collect all the shells. This will allow you to kill a mass amount of scorpions in the quickest amount of time. When you are trying to defeat the cultist king, make a line of bear traps in front of the castle. That way you can deal good damage to the king before wasting too many bullets. At the start of a long run, try to help the chef out by collecting all the meat from wolves or bears you kill for the kids. That way the chef doesn't have to worry about dying to wolves trying to get meat themselves. Remember, chefs don't start the game with a weapon, so help them out as much as you can. If you are trying to defeat the army base, try to find a tree or tall rock that is right next to the wall. That way you can jump onto the tree or rock and shoot the cultist without them knowing where you are. In the caves, try to gather as many of your teammates to help you out so it won't take as long as it would just doing it by yourself. This allows you to get all the blessings fast to make your gameplay easier in the future. Before going into the caves, you should make sure to have your fire done so you can do all the caves in one run. When you AFK, make sure to build log walls against the little opening on the log storage units because crossbow cultists will shoot you through the holes and you can die. When you play the game with a witch class, don't forget the witch potion can heal you. If you die, that is kind of embarrassing on your part, but if your teammate with the witch class dies, feel free to make fun of them. If your campfire runs out at night, make sure to run as far away from your base as possible. Get in a safe house or tree because the deer will always spawn on the fire when it is out. When you are grinding for fuel, make sure to do it as fast as possible. Only go back to your fire when your sack is full or if there is an emergency, like if your teammates need help with the cultist attack or if the fire is about to go out. The best nights to explore through the night are the first few nights, so make sure to do most of your resource gatherings during these nights. In the later game, you won't have many easy nights like them. When you are looking for a group for a long run, make sure to make the recommended days to 2000 plus. That way you know they have an auto-clicker unless they just don't have a life or sleep for that matter. When you are doing a long run, make sure to make your base's walls as thick as possible. This allows the cultist to not detect that you are there during a cultist attack. They will be bugged on the outside of the circle, so now you can easily kill them. If you get bored during a long run, just try to chop every tree on the map. Then with all the saplings you get from that, make a massive tree base. You can even add multiple layers to the tree base to add extra protection for cultist attacks. When you first start up a game, don't worry as much about the chests. Instead, get as much fuel as possible so you don't have to worry about the fire ending.